So if you've ever listened to any sort of podcast, you've probably heard an advertisement for Acast in which they advertise that Acast hosts some of the world's best podcasts. I heard that on my way here today, and I thought, it's false advertising because they don't have Rebels and Robots.
Oh, man.
It's Wednesday night, which means it's Starformers night. Welcome to Rebels and Robots with Cameron and...
Rachel.
She almost missed it. She was taking a drink. She just barely made it under the wire.
Staying hydrated.
This is our weekly chat about Star Wars and...
Transformers.
What were you about to say?
I almost just said robots.
Just anything robots related. We're definitely qualified.
I'm tired.
This is episode 11 of this podcast.
Ooh, 1-1.
I made a really horrible, not math, but I can't think of another term for it, counting error last week. I said we were a quarter of the way through the year. We're halfway through March. You only get to a quarter way of the year until the end of March, when March is over. I don't know what I was thinking. I think in my head I thought that the year was 10 months long, not 12. I don't know what I was thinking.
Were you also thinking that because it was like technically week 8 where I work at the time?
No, I don't think so. No.
I don't know. Time is an enigma.
I don't know what I was thinking about. Anyways, welcome to the show, Rachel. I don't know.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, like you're a guest.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been wanting to get on this podcast for so long. I'm just really, really pleased that you brought me here.
Anyways, you have anything from the last week?
Yes, I do. I have a lot. Okay, so this is just funny. So sometimes I will like be on my personal Twitter and I see tweets from our podcast page. And I don't immediately read who posts them. I always read the tweets first, and I will see something and I'm like, oh my gosh, they stole our tweet. And it's our account. So I've also got a couple. This is from last episode. So, we see the Bad Batch ghosted Sid. Someone pointed out that scooch the mic closer. ASMR. Someone pointed out that the Bad Batch just abandoned AZ, which is the little droid they rescued from Kamino with Sid. And we see him in the first episode of this season.
Oh, that's...
I think. In one of the episodes, they just left him.
That's funny.
But you know who they have?
Gonky.
They just left him. Which is...
He seemed to be enjoying himself working in that cantina. So... I've got some more. So, the infamous yellow travel biscuits that we've all been salivating or just wondering about. Star Wars posted a recipe. The official Star Wars posted a recipe. And they're like some like lemon cheesecake shortbread thing. I hate lemon so much. That sounds
well,
awful.
I'm sure you could make it without it.
I can imagine if you were working for the Empire, anything with flavor would be just a godsend.
I feel like you could probably just use the flour and water and make a paste into a brick and just bake it, and that'd probably be more accurate. But so last Saturday was the 6-year anniversary of the Rebels Twin Sons episode.
The 1-year anniversary?
6-year anniversary.
Oh, Rebels.
Of the Rebels.
Sorry. When you said Twin Sons, I was thinking of Kenobi.
Were you thinking Aunt Twin Sons Baru?
Yes.
No, the Rebels episode Twin Son.
I see. That
where
makes more sense.
we get to see Rebels spoilers for the second week in a row of season 3, where you get to see Kenobi and Maul duke it out for 2 seconds. So that was kind of fun. Here's my other thing. I have a lot, so I don't know what you have. We got a new Jedi Survivor trailer.
I saw that.
We saw it was pushed back, but we're not complaining. We are complaining. I am complaining. So I don't know if you watched it.
I just said I watched it. I literally just said that. Yes, I did. I did watch it. I was really interested.
So when you said I saw that, I didn't know what you meant.
Oh, I actually watched it. Yes.
Okay. You visibly consumed the media. Anyway, so we get to see Coruscant.
Yeah, I was quite surprised that there was so many shots of him on Coruscant.
You know something fun?
Yes.
Timeline wise. So, the first Jedi Fallen Order game is 5 years after Order 66. About 4 or 5 years after Order 66. This game is another 5 years. So that means we're about 10 years after Order 66, which is the same timeline area at the ending of Rebels Season 1, where they blow up Tarkin's ship, and Andor Season 1, the ending.
Interesting.
We're coming up to that timeline, and also where I think Kenobi ended as well around that same timeline, is about 9 years after. So it's all coming together. So anyways, I'm excited. So
there were a few other things in that trailer I thought were interesting. One, please go ahead.
No, I'm going to continue.
One that I would not have really caught myself, but that I saw pointed out somewhere on the internet. So it seems like the main antagonist for the game is someone from the High Republic.
That's what I keep seeing.
I don't know if it's been confirmed how he's returned, but I'm not particularly interested. But the fact that this character, what he says, he's like lecturing Cal for allowing the Empire to take over, but he refers to them as an Empire. Like, he totally disregards the Empire as anything special. That it's just an Empire. They're not the Empire, just an Empire. I thought that was an interesting line of dialogue.
So in the first teaser that we got to see for Jedi Survivor is Cal Kestis approaching what looks to be
like a Cairo chamber or something like that.
The Bacta tank with this old man in it. I think it's the same character.
Yes, that was, I think at some point in the last year, I remember reading that this character was from the past.
So here's the thing. Are they bringing in cloning again?
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, or maybe they put this man in a bath for like 600 years.
This is a good long soak. So just, I'm going through the trailer now. This Frogman is my new favorite Star Wars character, I think. Who's like begging for his life.
Oh, I saw that. That's so sad.
I would love to see that character. That feels like a Muppets character, like a Jim Henson character.
Keep watching. There's a scene in there when he slices what looks to be like a battle droid in half.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't realize this man threatening the Frogman has battle droids with him. I did not catch that.
So keep watching. So we see Cal Kestis slice it in half vertical. Pause it when it's like cut in half.
Hold on. I got another thing. Is that Tech? I mean, not Tech. Is that Echo?
You can't put everyone with a helmet and beat-looking headphones as Echo.
At 32 seconds into this official trailer, the man that Cal Kestis is fighting looks quite a bit like Tech with a very Kylo Ren-esque lightsaber.
Very Kylo Ren-esque lightsaber.
Also, I realized his ship looks quite a bit like the First Order troop carriers.
Very nice.
That character looks like a Overwatch character.
Who?
Hold on, I'm bringing it up. He is right here. He looks like the ape character that you can play as in Overwatch.
Oh, he does. Huh.
That character design does not look very Star Warsy to me.
I don't know who it is. Cal Kestis' master was a Lasat, which is very interesting.
Oh, yeah, just like the character in Rebels, whose name I'm totally blanking on. Zeb, yeah. I am interested to hear where the story goes with this man from the High Republic. And if you don't know, the High Republic is an era between the Old Republic and the current Star Wars age. It's really, I feel like the High Republic is just a way for new Star Wars to do Old Republic aesthetic, but just include Yoda. I did not realize how much platforming there was in these games.
Yes.
Did you have a grappling hook in the last game? Or is that new to this one?
I feel like we had something similar, but I can't remember.
I never played the other one, so I wouldn't know. Just watch Video Game Donkey.
Oh.
So do you have anything else from this last week?
Yes, sir. Katie O'Brien, the actress of Elia Kane from last Mandalorian episode.
Okay.
Someone asked her what those bricks tasted.
Did you say the voice of?
I thought I said the actor.
Okay.
Actress.
So the actress, yes, the actual actress, the Imperial, the ex-Imperial who is seemingly like she's reformed, but is actually still an Imperial. She's got the short black hair.
Hey, she liked our tweet, so
yeah.
Along with Ahmed, who played Dr. Pershing. Anyways, so someone asked her what the Imperial little bricks tasted like, and apparently they tasted pretty much only like coconut oil. And they're like a material that when you like bite into it, it like expands in your mouth. And I was like,
that, oof. I've often heard that if you're an intern or a PA, a production assistant on major production, sometimes your job will be to be just off camera with a bucket so that actors can spit their food.
Ugh, I would throw up. Speaking of last episode, so I don't know if you've noticed, I noticed this a couple times. Dr. Pershing would reach for his ear quite a bit.
Yes.
So the last time we see Dr. Pershing in season 1, or one of the last times, it's when
season 2. He's in there. They
oh man, it's been so long.
They end up like 2. He is.
They bring him back. Oh yeah, I forgot.
I think I don't remember exactly what's going on, but they
he's held hostage by 2 Imperials. They're like,
I don't
we're
remember
shoot
exactly why, but yes,
they have these Imperials have Pershing at gunpoint, and Cara Dune shoots the Imperial. And you can see where the blaster mark in Pershing's ear. So people are trying to figure out, is this like his nervous tick?
I see. That's interesting.
The other thing I had was, so during the scene where they're having I think they're called phosphor pops or something, the little glowing ice cream, and they're on the summit of Mount Coruscant or whatever. Mm-hmm. The music in the background is a carnival style March of the Resistance theme.
Oh, wow.
I have it.
March of the Resistance?
Yes.
Interesting.
Let me see if I can. I apologize for that. It didn't open right away. So let's see if we can hear it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating.
What is that?
Yeah, so March of the Resistance being the Resistance theme from the new trilogy. That's fascinating.
Which is interesting. So that makes it canon of some form. It's already a song. It kind of has some interesting implications. It's already a song that exists in the series or in the universe.
Yeah. Huh.
Either way, I didn't catch that. So I think I saw it on TikTok and I was like, wow. I think the last thing that I had, we'll save it for the meme minute.
Okay, great.
Lots of backlash from the Mando episode last week. Lots of,
I'm sure, because people don't like thoughtful story-based Star Wars. They just want pew pew / killing children.
I did.
Everyone's favorite.
I did see a funny tweet that I was like, the I hijacked someone else's show group keeps growing. And it was Mando. Hera in Bad Batch, Senator Chuchi in Bad Batch as well. It was good. So I think that's really all I had. The rest I have a lot of memes.
Well, let's jump into our discussion of the 2 episodes for this week, Bad Batch and Mando. Start with Bad Batch.
14 days since the last Crosshair incident.
And it's been 0 days as of now.
Yeah, 0 days.
You don't even get to open the episodes. The thumbnail is Crosshair, so it's been
truly.
0 days. What a short run.
Oh man, our record's 55. We should keep the Crosshair count until the next season.
So season 2, episode 14, The Tipping Point. I feel like both a lot and not a lot happens in this episode. Like nothing has really changed at the end of this episode, but a lot of different things happen. We open up with a ship escorting some clone prisoners off of a planet.
In return of Hauser from the Ryloth arc in Bad Batch season 1. He was the clone captain that worked with Hera's dad. And he was the one that was like, brothers, why are we doing this? And then they immediately arrested him.
I totally forgot about that.
So I'm actually quite surprised that he is alive. I mean, I know it's Star Wars, so if they don't die on screen, they're not dead. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of those things where I was like, I'm surprised the Empire wasn't like, why don't we just kill these people?
Yeah, that it seems like no. So they don't. Rachel. They don't kill people. The Empire didn't kill people. They send people to a farm on Naboo.
No, they sent them to a farm on Alderaan.
Oh no! Unfortunate mining accident. Anyhow, So as they're escorting these prisoners off planet, which was a planet you said you recognized when we see the name Balmora, and
which is a planet that you get to go to on the Imperial side of Star Wars: The Old Republic MMORPG.
Well, there you go.
It is one of the mid-tier, like mid-level planets. I don't love it. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite. That would be Nar Shaddaa. That's the one I probably really hate. Anyways.
There are definitely times where you're way more nerdier than I am on this podcast. I love it.
They were
That's
like,
great.
Balmora, and I was like, oh, Balmora! I know that place!
You had a lot of pointing at the screen.
I did have a lot of those
the
moments today.
Living Leonardo DiCaprio meme. And as they are about to leave the planet, a ship drops out of hyperspace and ambushes them, and it's none other than some of our clone friends.
Clones we haven't seen in a while. Gregor, who we haven't seen since first season either.
I don't really remember him being in Bad Batch season 1. What was his role?
He was in one
exactly?
episode. He was the plot device that... Not plot device. He was in jail at a different Imperial prison. That's when Hunter gets captured. They go to rescue Gregor, and Hunter falls like 3 stories off of an Imperial... off an Imperial jail. That's where he gets captured. I think that might have also been episode like 14 or something.
I see.
Towards the end, because then they have to go rescue Hunter.
And we also have Echo.
Woo!
And a couple of very sexy looking clones in their green armor. That was one of my favorite not classic clones, but from the actual movies was the camouflage clones on Kashyyyk who fight with Yoda.
They
that's
have some
very
good
reminiscent.
armor.
And so these guys have some really nice looking armor. And except for one of them's name is Fireball, which does not match his armor whatsoever. But anyways. But this makes for a very excellent action scene. I really enjoy this little prison break sequence.
I think this is actually the first time we see Fireball. Homeworld Camino. Born Camino.
Wow. Thanks, Wikipedia.
We love Wikipedia, please. But yeah, interesting. So Rex's forces are growing.
Yeah, I think the concept of a clone... I was thinking about this while I was watching it. You could describe them as a clone rebel cell, but I don't know if that would be... Definitely guerrilla warfare. Absolutely. Okay. Wolf isn't there yet.
I thought he was one of them for a second. Yeah. I was like, whoa, we're just going to skim past this?
But... I don't know if you would technically consider... I guess they are rebels in the sense that they are acting out against the Empire.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have much of an objective other than save other clones. They're not trying to, like, take down the Empire.
They're just trying to rescue people.
I don't know if they officially register as rebels by definition. But nonetheless, having this cell of insubordinate clones working together who are much more organized now and operating off of Coruscant of all places seems like a bad idea, but it's also a very large place
right under their noses. And we see that the stormtroopers on the ship aren't clones.
Yeah
I'm like,
I mean, that was pretty much Palpatine's decree earlier in the season of Bad Batch was that they're not using the clones anymore because they say they can't be trusted because they just blindly follow orders.
Yeah. So, that was very interesting. And so then we see them go back to Coruscant, and we see they're still working with Senator Chuchi.
Yeah. Do we learn anything else in that sequence? I guess they're like, we need to know. Oh, they want to know where. So they learned
where are they shipping the clones to?
Exactly. They learned that there's a facility with only clones as prisoners, which is the facility we've been seeing throughout the season.
Mount Tanta, I think.
Sounds about right.
I don't know.
That's where we know that Crosshair and
Naughty Clone Jail.
And what is the Kaminoan scientist's name?
Nalase.
Yeah, I always want to say Lamasu, but that's the...
Naughty clones go to Imperial jail.
Wow, lovely. Thank you. And so they want to know where this is located, so they need to know where the ship that they just, pirated is going. And so while they were on the ship, Echo was able to get some information, and they need to decrypt it. And so, we know someone who can do that. What were you going to say?
We have another admiral that... similar to, I think, episode 7 or 8, instead of being interrogated or giving up info, just killed himself, electrocuted himself.
Oh yeah, on the ship.
Yeah, he was like, no.
I wasn't looking when it happened, and you told me that he killed himself, and I said he toothed himself. He couldn't handle the tooth.
Oh no.
And so you were like, my brain's not working. Who do they know that could crack that? I go, who knows stuff about technology stuff? Who's a techie sort of guy in this show?
All he knows about it, all Tech knows is drive ship and be snarky. So Tech's like, I'm gonna go. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see Rex. I was expecting a little Rex cameo,
sure.
but I don't know. Maybe he's off doing Rex things and saving more clones. So we go back to Pabu, which looks great after being decimated by a day after tomorrow tsunami.
Yeah, that's which pretty much ultimately renders that last episode so pointless, I feel. Even more so in retrospect.
They weren't really doing too bad after that. We do get to see Omega driving the ship, which was that was adorable. I loved it.
It was cute.
It was very cute.
I'll give them that. That was cute. And so they're just like, Wrecker is living his best life, helping everyone. He's catching fish and helping reinforce.
Big strong man.
Yeah, reinforce like levees and stuff. And they're talking to Hunter and asking him why don't they stay, and he's like, it's not a good idea.
It's hard for soldiers to put down roots.
Nice.
Thank you.
And Tech is training Echo to fly the ship and doing typical
Echo?
Tech stuff. God, man, there's so many names. Omega. I just need to speak in her accent.
I will be honest. I thought it was hilarious when she's going like 600 miles an hour through the sky on that ship.
And Gonki's flying around in the back.
There's the scene between Tech and Omega, and Tech looks like everyone's mom when they're first learning how to drive. And you see Gonki finally get up to the seats, and Omega guns it, and Gonki just flies all the way back. So he's probably been working his way up there since the last turn.
Absolutely. And it feels very reminiscent of last week's Mandalorian episode with R5 in the ship with Bo-Katan.
Very fun. Yeah, that's the thing too. She called it the Tech maneuver or whatever, and it was very similar to Bo-Katan's hard break and whip it move.
And through all this, it's also intercutting with Crosshair trying to escape.
Tortured.
Yeah, they want to get information out of him on how to get the Bad Batch.
And specifically Omega.
Yeah, well, she's like, you need Omega to lure them in, which to me would seem like if you're in the position to kidnap Omega, wouldn't you be able to kidnap all of them?
I don't know.
I don't know how you would get just Omega. It seems like it would just be, once you're there, just get all of them. But nonetheless, I guess you could get them to do what you want.
With lassos.
Once you have her. Because they might be really dangerous and be like bunkered in somewhere. But if you capture her, then you can get them to do what you want.
You're a threat. I don't know. If the Empire's like, like, come out. Or I don't know, we're just going to shoot this child. They would do it.
I won't hesitate.
I
will shoot her near the edge of a cliff.
Have we said that every single
It's
episode?
very close. It is nearly every week.
Rebecca, I won't hesitate.
So Crosshair is being interrogated, and he escapes and then gets gassed. He's able to send a message out to try to warn the Bad Batch, and then that leads to the Bad Batch learning that Crosshair has been defecting against the Empire.
Yeah, and they're like, interesting.
And that's pretty much the end of the episode.
Yeah. Well, we see, Echo comes back and he gives the little flash drive to Tech to figure out. And there's another conversation of, are y'all going to stay here? And Hunter's like, soldiers it's hard to put down roots when you're soldiers. We get a very fun, tiny little background scene of Wrecker chasing Omega and Fee's niece, and then Wrecker just wiping out. It was
his face plants.
Yes. But so yeah, they learned that clones are being rounded up and shipped off to jail. to a very specific location that they haven't really been able to figure out. But yeah, and they find out that Crosshair is defecting and sending a message, and they're like, well, that's no good if this is true. And, you know, and within their right mind, Hunter's like, it could also be a trap. Mm-hmm. Smart.
It's a what? It's a what? What'd you say? It's a trap.
So, yeah, that's kind of where it ends. But I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. I don't know. I kind of liked seeing that Echo has been doing stuff with Rex, like saving clones. Kind of nice to know that the operation between, you know, Chuchi's still fighting for the rights of the clones is maybe not being successful political wise, but they had quite a few clones there. You know, they had a handful in that shop. So
yeah, I feel like these last 2 episodes have just kind of been designed to set up the finale.
Yeah,
just
can't believe that's next week.
Table dressing, as some might call it. Ultimately, it was fine.
It was fun.
It was. I really enjoyed the opening action sequence, especially.
Yeah, that was really good.
And, you know, I guess I would have, you know, I think it would have been safe to assume that once Clone Wars ended, that would have kind of been the end of us seeing clones in Star Wars in any sort of significant way. As we're going to talk about in a minute, we got to see some clones in The Mandalorian, but not as really characters. So it is actually really nice to see actual clones as characters in this show, because I love clone troopers. They're fun. Anyways, continuing on to The Mandalorian.
Halfway through the season. Which
Season
is crazy to think
2,
about.
Episode 4.
I mean, it's crazy to think about. I forget there's only 8 episodes in this. We were spoiled with Andor's 12.
This episode is called The Foundling. It is written in part by Dave Filoni, directed by Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers is the actor who plays Greef Karga. Very famous for playing the original Apollo Creed in Rocky movies. He was in the original Predator. He's in Happy Gilmore. He directed a couple episodes, at least one other episode of The Mandalorian before. I'm trying to figure out that information. I know he directed at least one episode before. If I can get it to come up. I'm having a hard time here with IMDb. His IMDb is very long. He directed one episode before. It was the episode where they went back with him and broke into the Imperial base on his planet. The infamous episode with the crew guy in the background shot.
The Jeans Man! Yeah. Yes! I forgot that. That's so funny.
And
Jeans are canon in Star Wars.
So, I think he's pretty good at directing action. Both the episodes he's directed have been very action heavy, and I like the way he directs action. It's pretty fun.
Action, go over there.
So, I actually only took down one note this week between both episodes that we watched.
Because you were too busy eating?
Well, I wasn't eating the whole time. There just wasn't a ton to write down. But this was the one time I had something of note to write down, which was at the beginning of this episode, it cuts back to the Mandalorian enclave in the rocks, in the Rocky Mountains, and they're all just shooting into the water and like launching missiles, and we both thought this is why the Crocosaurus was so pissed off in the first episode, because they're firing right into its home.
Yeah,
I'd be angry too. They deserve it.
I mean, and it wasn't even just like 1 or 2. There were like 6 of them just firing blankly into the water, and it's like, yo, that's his home. You're shooting through his living room. But I actually wrote down a couple of notes for this. I thought this episode was fun. I enjoyed both episodes. I thought they were fun. And then Mando comes out and he's like, Grogu, I would like you to go fight this 12-year-old. It's time for you to learn as a foundling. It's really it was like putting a 12-year-old versus an infant in a paintball gun fight. Except the infant has the Force, which the Force scenes of Grogu jumping are so funny to me.
Yes.
The switch from animatronic to CGI is really funny. And then the kid, who we later learned is named Ragnar, gets yoinked by some dragon-looking thing This is a horrible place to raise children. This is awful. This is horrible. And so they're like, we have to go rescue this child. And everyone else flies. Bo-Katan is the only one that thinks to get in the ship and follow it. What makes me wonder is, they flew out for probably miles because they ran out of fuel. Were they just going to walk back 20 miles in that area? I wouldn't. So we see that. They gather up their hunting party. Bo-Katan kind of takes the lead. They take their ship and they dip. And then the armorer is like, Grogu, it's lesson time. And makes Grogu walk the 30 feet back to the armorer's cave all by himself.
There's tiny little legs.
There's a very cute POV shot from Grogu's height. As he walks in, it's very adorable. But so the armorer starts monologuing about the importance of armor. And the noises or whatever gives Grogu what else in a David Filoni written episode.
All right, before we get to this, just a very small note, just a step back. The young man that that Grogu fights, Ragnar, that gets kidnapped. I didn't think to look at his actor when we saw him in the first episode. He was the one who was being initiated. Thank you. His name is Wesley Kimmel. He's previously been in Star Wars. In the Book of Boba Fett, he played the child Tusken Raider.
Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see him back.
So that's, he doesn't get a lot of FaceTime as either character, but...
I was going to say, I was like, wait, that name sounds really familiar.
I mean, certainly in the top tier of children actors in Star Wars. Anyways, so... As you were saying, we get a fun flashback.
What else are we going to get in a Dave Filoni episode? In Order 66 flashback, where we see quite a few Jedi protecting
Getting
Grogu.
rocked.
Like, he had at least 4, at least tall Padawans.
I was about to say, it wouldn't surprise me for the Jedi to just be protecting any younglings.
Yeah.
But, it would seem as though the chamber with the younglings in episode 3 was not particularly well protected.
The picture of LeBron. I'm kidding. We can cut that.
Anyways,
but I was just thinking about that. So we have Grogu with his entourage of Jedi all over the place, and those poor kids in the youngling room that just had to run as a pack, getting picked off by clones in Kenobi. Reva and her friends.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like the meme where it's like, I don't have any favorites. What are you talking about? It's like one giant picture of their favorite kid and a bunch of tiny pictures of their other one, Grogu, and all the other younglings.
So he gets put into an elevator and shipped down, and the elevator opens, and who is on the other end other than not a famous character, mind you, but famous Star Wars actor Ahmed Best
as Kelleran Bach.
Ahmed Best, if you don't know, was the actor who played Jar Jar Binks.
I'm so glad they brought him back.
And if you don't know, this is a really fun moment because obviously very few of us have overall positive opinions about Jar Jar Binks, but that is not Ahmed Best's fault. This man signed up for who he thought he was going to be.
He did his best.
The next Chewbacca. He thought he was going to... It's Star Wars. He put a lot of freaking work into this character.
Absolutely.
And did not deserve the hate that he got.
Absolutely not. Like, the reaction he got is just absolutely disgusting behavior from people who call themselves fans. Because it wasn't like, I don't like this character. They were so cruel to Ahmed that he did not want... I don't know if I can say this. He did not want to exist anymore.
Yes.
He was that cruelly bullied.
He had suicidal thoughts,
yes.
Unfortunately.
So I'm just so glad that they brought him back, that he's able to have this. And I'm glad he was willing to come back. Because, I wouldn't have blamed him if he just, washed his hands of it all. I was like, I'm not coming back. I was treated horribly.
Absolutely. And so for him to come on and be genuinely one of the coolest Jedis we have seen in quite some time with 2 lightsabers.
Oh, that was cool.
And just killing it. I thought he was phenomenal in this, and like legitimately a good performance. Like I wouldn't be nice just to be nice. If he showed up and he was terrible, I'd be like, it's nice that he's here. I'm glad for him. He's not good. I legitimately think he gives a nice performance as this brief Jedi. And I also additionally, just one last thing on this is I think it's really fun for him to get to do this because he has had an incredibly good sense of humor in previous years. He would play Jar Jar on Robot Chicken, which is a parody stop motion television show that does lots of different little sketches, and he would be on that show. He was like one of very few actors who actually played their character on Robot Chicken. I thought he showed a really good sense of humor about it, and was also very excellent because he would also here it says he also plays Finn as well on Robot Chicken and plays a bunch of different other characters. He is a very excellent voice actor as well. And he has played this character before, this exact Jedi.
Really?
In something, I thought I had seen him before in Jedi Robes. I had that visual memory in my head. Something called Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge. 3 teams of Jedi Padawans compete. Oh, it was like a game show sort of thing. I don't know where this existed. It was in 2020. I don't know much about it, but he has played this character before.
Order 66 speedrun.
Ah!
That's what that sounded like, Jedi Temple Challenge. That's so
cool. This was on YouTube. It was a YouTube thing.
YouTube.
That he did. I thought I had seen an image of Ahmed Best dressed as a Jedi before, so I was not surprised when I saw him. Anyways, so he shows up and rocks the character.
Yeah. We do get to see, and he's just dropping clones left and right. And we get a nice tidbit where one of the clones speaks, and that's Tamura. It's not D.
Yes. I mean, I think it would be very strange in live action to hear D. Bradley Baker's voice rather than Tamora Morrison.
Bringing in the cash.
And Tamora Morrison is credited here as though after very recently this last week finishing Boba Fett and forgetting that Mark Hamill is credited in those, even though he didn't do any original voice work. I believe it's all his AI voice. They still credit him. So it's always possible at this point that if you don't see an actor and they're credited, it doesn't necessarily mean they did anything new. But I would...
Oh, sorry. No, continue.
I would bet that is original voice work by Tamora Morrison, but...
I think they had Mark Hamill on set.
He was on set for reference.
Yeah,
he did some of the acting.
But he wasn't the...
But he did not... He's not actually ever on screen. Yes. It's not his body.
It was not him.
It's not his original voice. It's all AI.
It's his force spirit.
And the moment you know his voice is AI generated, not to get too far off topic, it is very inhuman. Anyways.
I feel like we both have a lot of beef against AI for different reasons, but that's for a different podcast. And then we see very interesting. So we get a fun little chase through downtown Coruscant or whatever. The clones are just blasting. And
Ahmed. So his character's name is Kelleran Beck, B-E-Q. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. He hops on his speeder. He's got like a sidecar for Grogu, which is hilarious. And
did they have like a save Grogu in case of Order 66
they are
plan?
Very prepared specifically
versus
for
the
him.
other kids.
What if Grogu had come down the elevator with another youngling? Like, what were they gonna do? Sorry, kid, you're not nearly special enough. Peace.
Here, if you run down this ship, you might run into Bail Organa.
Oh no! That kid, George Lucas' son, didn't make through.
Maybe you can catch him and he'll give you a ride or Uber you somewhere.
Yikes! And so they're flying through Coruscant on this bike, and a clone gunship drops down and is shooting at them, and is just firing aimlessly into the city.
It's the equivalent of being in a car chase, but the person chasing you is in a tank in downtown New York.
Or a freaking Apache helicopter just launching missiles. And every time this gunship misses, those lasers don't just disappear. They keep going into the city somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So he ducks down a train tunnel.
Oh, this is a good sequence, absolutely. And dodges out of the way at the last second. And it cuts in close up on the clone piloting the gunship right before he gets wrecked.
Do you know what opportunity they missed?
What did they miss?
Wilhelm scream.
Ah, nice. But as this continues the classic Filoni tradition of clone gunship pilots not making it out of the episode.
Weren't there 2 ships?
There were 2.
I was gonna say so.
Well, the next one catches up with them in a second.
Oh, that was the other one, I guess. I was gonna say, can you imagine they both turned down that? you see the vehicle your friend is in front of you just get obliterated by a bullet train, and then
Very
you're next. So Kelleran lands on a platform, and lo and behold, what chrome ship do we see there?
The Mandalorian.
No.
No, the classic chromium of Star Wars, a Naboo
Padme's ship.
Yeah. Most likely Padme's ship.
Yeah, of course, I don't think she was queen at that time, so it was probably just whoever was queen of Naboo at that point.
Well, that is I don't know if... Look, well, actually, okay. Depending on the timeline, that actually is not her exact ship. Because this is while Anakin... If this is while the Jedi are attacking the temple, Anakin is currently massacring children. So that means Padme is still on Coruscant. So this is mid-episode 3. Yeah. So that is identical to the ship that she flies, her and Obi-Wan fly to Mustafar. No, wait, hold on. Yes, no, yes. Hold on. It is identical to the one that she and Anakin flew in episode 2. Mm-hmm. But now I'm trying to remember what ship they fly. They actually might fly a larger ship.
I think it is a larger ship.
In episode 3. I don't know how to
They had to fly a different ship because Kelleran took our other one.
Oh yeah. Where's my normal ship? Well, it just got hijacked by some...
Your husband is killing everyone, so we let him borrow it.
Okay.
Not your husband. We let some other guy borrow it.
It's not worth taking the time to try to figure this out. Anyways, it is dissimilar to at least one of
Padme ships.
You know, why does she have to have multiple spaceships? She could probably sell one of those and feed so many of the starving children on Coruscant.
Those the lower level children.
Yep.
So, and that's where it ends. They jump into hyperspace, escape Coruscant, and that's where it ends. And Grogu comes back, and I feel like the armor was definitely... I made a comment like, the armorer was probably monologuing deep Mandalorian secrets to him at the whole time. But so she makes him a little rondel. That's what she calls it, I think.
A rondel?
It's the little circular thing she made. I think that's what she called it. That. And it's got the rhino on it. It's got Mando's little insignia on it.
Mm. Yeah, I thought it was also interesting. It seemed to have some sort of like electronics built into it.
I think that is on par with Beskar.
But what do those electronics do? Does
I think it
maybe generate a shield?
Deflects stuff.
Interesting.
Anyways, she gives him a rondel that's almost the size of him. So he probably weighs an extra 50 pounds.
Yeah, he's going to stand up and just fall forward, face plant as well.
But now...
Some cool bling for him, though.
Grogu can definitely take a shot to the chest. Yeah. He might go flying back 20 feet, but it won't be the shot that gets him.
He's got the drip, though. That's all that matters. And then we cut to the Mandalorians hunting down this big board thing that took the other child, the different child, not Grogu, the child.
Oh gosh, it was yeah, and they land on this cliff and they like make camp. But I wrote down this comment, I think it's very shortly after they land, because Bo-Katan is like, we're gonna have to climb up, and Paz Vizsla looks up the rock face and leans back at the waist.
He's both a very large man and wearing a very large helmet, so he's unable to turn his head all the way back to look up, so he has to like tilt at the waist to look up, and it is very funny.
Tilted back like a Gmod Half-Life character model, where he just like cracks at the
what a reference, a Gmod animation. Wow. That takes me
was
back.
The first thought that like the next thing he's gonna do is ragdoll down a cliff or something. I don't know. But it was really funny because just, you know, like Bo-Katan for the most part kind of look up, and Paz just
absolute unit.
He is. So then we get to see fun Mandalorian eating traditions.
Oh yeah, like well, they all sit around the campfire and get their food, and she turns to Mando and like, "How do you guys eat?" And he's like, "We don't." And I thought that's where he was gonna leave it. We just sit here and politely stare at the food.
They absorb it through their palms.
No, he tells her that they all go and find their own spot to take their helmet off, which I'm trying to correctly vocalize what that made me think of. It felt very like, for some reason, like a bunch of shy children who don't want to eat together, or I don't know. It felt very weird.
When your social battery expires.
There's a bunch of the Mandos are just a bunch of introverts. That's hilarious.
I mean, I get it, but it was so funny because like he's like, we go find a place to eat, and they all just get up and leave. And Bo-Katan, I don't know, she goes to leave, and Paz is like, you're the leader, you get to sit by the fire. And so I noticed kind of interesting, so she sits back down, and before she takes her helmet off, she looks around to make sure everyone's gone. So I don't know if I'm curious, like there's nothing really stopping her from just going, you guys are a cult, I'm taking my helmet off, deuces, we're gone. But so there's a part of me that's wondering, I don't know, is this giving her something to cling to after, she's lost her family, she's lost her home, she's kind of lost like her physical home too, not just Mandalore, but her actual castle. Is this giving her something to cling to?
Yeah, it would be very strange if this season ended in the big like finish of her character arc is her deciding to join the way and never take her helmet off ever again. That would feel very odd. I'm hoping what will happen.
The next time she meets Sabine's going to be real confused.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
She's going to, hopefully, what I'm hoping is going to happen is that the two parties, the other Mandalorians, represented here by Bo-Katan, and the Mandalorians of the Way, they come to an understanding. They come to a middle point that Bo-Katan recognizes the importance of their traditions and their rules and honor and what that serves for a Mandalorian being a Mandalorian, and she helps him learn that some of these more culty elements, like never taking your helmet off, are not really necessary.
Yeah.
And are not good for your interpersonal relationships. And maybe that'll come from maybe having Grogu and realizing that attachments to one another and love. And that could be very much perpetuated by the relationship we see between, what's his name? The big Mandalorian we were just making fun of. Paz, sorry. These one-syllable names are hard to keep track of.
Vizsla.
Paz and his son.
Which was very interesting to me. So we get a fun montage of all the Mandalorians struggling their way up a vertical rock face.
Oh, yep.
And so they get to the nest, and, it's Din, Paz, and Bo. And Paz just vaults over. He's going for it. And Bo's like, we have to wait. And Paz goes, that's my son. And I was like, oh.
Ragnar! I'm coming, Ragnar!
Do you think his like hyphenated middle name is Rock?
Okay, that's what I was trying to remember where I'd heard that word before. That's a reference to Galaxy Quest. Very good reference, Rachel. Wow. That's what you're referencing, right?
I meant Ragnarok as also like...
Never mind. Sorry. There's a sequence in the movie Galaxy Quest where there's a bunch of aliens chanting something, and then they translate it, and they're translated to rock, and it turns out there's a big monster.
No.
And it's something kind of similar. I am way off.
I'm referencing Ragnarok, which, if my knowledge is correct, I'm not that well versed in Norse mythology, is the end of Valhalla.
Yes, correct.
So...
Ragnarok. I see. Oh, now I get it. Man, wow. This top 10 strangest moments in this podcast. Wow.
Anyways, I thought it was funny. But so, they go to the heat source in the nest, and it's these horribly ugly dragon bird things. And then Mama shows up and coughs up the kid. How is that kid alive?
Good question. I thought it was hilarious. I was not anticipating this big creature just regurgitating a child Mandalorian.
How is he alive?
No idea.
It's been almost probably a day at this point. Who knows how long it took them to climb up that rock? They were huffing and puffing, and I mean, I would have been doing the same. But,
and they go on a big chase to. So pretty much, he regurgitates the child, and Paz tries to save him, and that pisses off the big creature.
It was nice to see Paz care about something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, I was like, look, a new side to him other than when he tried to kill me.
Just being an a-hole.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm also a sucker just for like
Kaiju. Big creatures.
Okay. No, I mean like I love seeing like familial relationships.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
I was like, it's just kind of nice to see because all we know about Paz at this point is big man with a big gun, and
he's a Vesla.
and he's a Vizsla, so he tried to fight Mando, and so it's kind of like, I don't know. It's nice to see just another side of him.
And they got a big chase.
Yeah.
With lots of fast zooms and
Fast
camera
zooms.
movements. And
There's a very specific fast zoom on Bo-Katan. I don't know what it served, but it was funny.
and they're able to save the kid, and the monster falls into the water, and then in a very scene reminiscent of the end of Jurassic World, what happened, Rachel?
He gets Mosasaur'd.
I just yelled Crocosaurus,
You yelled Crocosaurus, and I went, he got Mosasaur'd.
and this leads me to a really excellent comment off of Reddit about this that says, "Sea creature consumes dino bird. Somewhere in the galaxy, Force Qui-Gon is smiling. There's always a bigger fish."
There's always a bigger. Oh man.
And it says, as is John Hammond.
So,
and this also, there's another comment on here. I'm guessing I must have missed this moment. So I guess earlier, someone must have said it always gets away after the bird grabbed the child, which prompted this person to say, how many children has it taken? And why is everything on this planet trying to kill the Mandalorians?
Exactly. They live in space Australia. I don't know.
That's exactly what this says. You just beat me to it.
I'm too good. So here's my thing. We see it's the shot where Bo, Din, and Paz are looking into the nest, and there's another Mandalorian helmet in there.
Oh yeah,
It's one. That's all that we see. But
why are they here? This surely there must be a better place.
The Empire
Maybe
can't get us.
Introduce you into Pabu.
The Empire can't get us because everything kills them before they get to here. Like, it's just crazy. Like, how many children has this thing taken and eaten?
And in the midst of this fight, Bo-Katan loses her shoulder piece.
Oh, she does.
And so when they get back, the armorer offers to make her a new piece of armor. Mm-hmm. And she's like, do you want to continue having the night owl? Is that what she offers? As your
insignia.
She's like, actually, I want the Mythosaur. Thank you. You give me all the proper nouns. I appreciate it. And she's like, yeah, the Mythosaur is for everyone. Which helps explain, because I was confused that
the Mythosaur belongs to everyone.
Yes. This is a nice little piece of lore that helps me understand, because
sweet
back
lore.
in Mandalorian season 1, he gets the big horn beast thing as his insignia because he defeated it.
Mudhorn?
Yeah, Mudhorn. And so that made me confused. I was like, okay, no one is defeating the Mythosaur, so why do other Mandalorians have the Mythosaur on their chest?
It's like your county flag versus your your country flag.
And so this explains that it is the symbol of all Mandalorians, and so anyone is allowed to wear the Mythosaur. And she's like, well, what if I saw one? She's like, oh, yeah, sure, we've all seen things.
The armorer really treated Bo like a kid at this point. She was like, wow, yeah, we all see things.
We've all got imaginary friends. She's like, no, I actually saw it. She's like,
yeah, wow.
This is the way.
The Living Waters gives you a lot of visions. And so then we kind of leave on this moment. I would have been mad if someone did that to me, but also because that would have driven me nuts. Gaslighting at its finest. Sure you did.
That's what religious leaders are for, Rachel.
Oh no, this is spicy. So yeah, that's kind of where it ends. It was a shorter episode, but I enjoyed it.
Another episode that had a lot going on. Decades spanning episode between flashback, but it was an excellently produced episode.
You had a really funny comment. So they get back, they've saved Ragnar. They come back out, And so Paz and Ragnar come out, and everyone, first of all, they're not actually clapping. They are clanking their wrists together, their wrist armor, which is like kind of funny. And so Paz and Ragnar come out, followed by like 15 other Mandalorians. And I'm like, how many Mandalorians can you fit in one of those ships? And you made a comment that says, as expected, a Mandalorian ship is like a clown car. And then it doesn't end. All the Mandalorians come out, and I think Bo goes, we found some new foundlings, and they bring out the baby birds.
Good joke.
And those things are like the size of an electric car. Where did they put them? In their like inventory pockets? there's so like that ship just must be so roomy.
I agree. Very funny.
So much
so silly.
space.
It's very Dave Filoni.
It's so funny.
This is very much a Dave Filoni comedy episode. Some of these elements intermixed with the Order 66
Very good
genocide. And speaking of all of the Mandalorians coming out and clattering
I want to know how many of those are cosplayers. There's got to be some from the 501st in there.
At least just any sort of cosplay group, whether it's 501st or otherwise, almost certainly.
Seeking Mandalorian. Oh boy!
So speaking of all the Mandalorians coming out clanging their things together like a cult, I'm gonna move us into meme minute.
Woo!
But it's longer than a minute. Meme
I got a
parsec,
bunch.
meme astrosecond. And here's a video for you that I absolutely love. This was a reference to last week, at the end of last week, whenever they introduced, they welcomed Bo-Katan into their cult, and I just died when I found that video.
I saw so many videos of that, of someone just photoshopped Din and Bo in that with the other Mandalorians.
So good.
So funny.
Love it.
This isn't necessarily a meme, but someone on TikTok has taken screenshots of all the times that Mando has fallen throughout the seasons, and they're all like freeze framed where he's like blurry. It's so funny. It's same.
Is he falling down stairs there? No, that's because he was like wounded. Yeah, that's from Boba Fett. So
it's all
that's
the
really
times he's
good.
fought. They're just very good. I have a lot, so.
Here, so I've got. So here's a Transformers one. And,
oh my gosh!
I got this.
I don't know if I have any of those.
I got this off of Reddit. Oh, hold on. Here it comes. Hopefully, here it comes. Oh, it's muted.
When I say trans, you say rights. Okay, got it. Great. Let's go. Trans.
I think I saw that exact same one this week.
Oh man, it's not an incredible joke, but the actual like the timing of it with that, I assume that's the movie theme song.
I don't know. This is gonna.
It's not from the show.
No,
unless it's G2.
This might be shocking. I've never seen the original 1980 movie.
We've talked about this. We're definitely going to watch it for the pod. Absolutely.
Do it for the pod.
So I loved that piece of audio. I thought that was quite fun.
Here's one from last week. It's a screenshot of Elia Kane after a last Mando episode at the end where she's watching Dr. Pershing get brain fried, and she eats one of the travel biscuits, and it's screenshot as she's eating it, and it's captioned, "After lobotomizing your old coworker, have a little snack as a treat."
What a sinister freeze frame that is of her. Here is a timeless meme that could be applied at literally any time. It's an image of two women fighting, and then a third person is sitting in a chair eating popcorn, and all three people are labeled Star Wars fans.
Oh, I forgot to mention it. It's very good. The last episode, this latest episode of Mando passes the Bechdel test.
Nice. Very good.
So this is a meme. It says it's captioned, "Live action to animated always looks weird, so it makes sense when characters don't look the same going from animated to live action too." So it's got the, kind of infamous comparison of Dooku live action in Clone Wars, Palpatine, Tarkin, Yoda. So I just want you to look at this.
I almost sent this to you. Oh, this is fun. I'm glad you brought it up.
So we have some stellar comparisons of Dooku, live action animated Dooku, Vader, Tarkin, Yoda, infamously Rebels Yoda, Palpatine, and then such a good joke. The last comparison they have is a picture of Ezra from Rebels and Jabba the Hutt. And that is one of my favorite in-jokes of Ezra, not really knowing too much how the galaxy works, introducing himself to people when he's not giving his identity as Jabba the Hutt. Which is so funny because he's probably he might not know what a hut is. He's been on Lothal this whole time. So when he says that, people are like, "Oh." So joke. It's a very good joke. Top tier.
This is a fun little comic that's an interaction between Luke and Grogu. Luke says, "I'm looking for someone," and shows Grogu, and he says, "Looking? Found someone you have." I would say, Luke says, "Oh no, not this again." I would love the idea of Grogu, once he starts learning to talk, just says all the exact same crap Yoda said.
So speaking of Grogu learning to talk, someone pointed this out in episode 3. It's after Bo-Katan is bringing Mando back after saving him from drowning, and they're talking, and so there's a bit where Mando goes, "This is the way," and Bo-Katan's like, "This is the way," and Grogu makes noises that sound like he's trying to say it. Have you
Yeah, you sent this to me. Go ahead and play it.
Oh.
In for a feast, but I'm guessing that helmet isn't coming off again.
This is the way.
This is the way.
And
it was funny when we watched that. I heard the first noise and I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I didn't catch the second couple noises that made it like there was like 3 syllables.
But it makes sense because they both turned and looked at him like, huh? Baby's first words.
Here is an exchange that Pablo Pascal had on a talk show. The host asked him, this is the Graham Norton show, by the way. Graham Norton asked him, a lot of things are green screen, but Baby Yoda is actually there? And he says, yes. Pablo Pascal says, yes, Baby Yoda is there. Yes, Baby Yoda is there. There's 2 different versions of, I can't believe I just said Baby Yoda. You weren't supposed to say that. That's the first time. The people from Disney are waiting for you. I gotta go.
Did you say Pablo Pascal?
What is his name?
Pedro.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Cameron's not very good at names.
I've got white male confidence.
You're not
I'll just roll into
it's
mispronouncing this ethnic name.
You call me the wrong name 50% of the time.
That's less of pronunciation error and just me having 2 primary women in my life that I get their names mixed up.
You're going to ignore Athena like that?
Look, I don't get Athena mixed up with anyone. And cats are very distinct to me.
So I have another funny meme. So this is a picture of Tech, and it's just 2 pictures of Tech and Fee, and the audio is just very important.
Please shut up. Please.
And it's
that's great. That's so good.
It's Tech and Fee being like, "Oh my gosh, please shut up."
I'm trying to look up something relevant to my name mistake. What's going on over there?
I saw this TikTok earlier this week. It was so funny. It's just a clip from Battlefront 2. And I think it's, oh gosh, it's so funny. Okay, are you
Go for it. Who does this Vader think he is? And this is audio. What is this music from?
Give me a second.
Wow, you guys are hearing a live death on the microphone as Rachel just transcends.
So okay, niche interest time. I don't know if it's niche necessarily. This is it's a rendition of Oogway's theme from Kung Fu Panda, but it is very specifically from the Sacred Pool of Tears track. So anyway, it's a clip from Battlefront 2. Of someone playing Kylo Ren and someone else playing as Vader. I think it's the heroes only. The Vader character just starts.
Oh, sorry. Oh no.
The Vader character just starts levitating and spinning through the air with the music from Kung Fu Panda, and then the scene cuts to this clip of Willem Dafoe. Is it from The Lighthouse? Is that where that's from?
No, that is from. It's like at Infinity's Gate or something. It's a movie where he played famous artist Van Gogh.
It's this scene where he's like looking up in shock or awe or terror, and it's so you just gotta watch it on the Twitter. It's so funny.
So here's a video. It is tangentially related to Star Wars. It has 2 Star Wars actors in it, but it is relevant to my name mess up here from just a second ago.
My full name is Oscar Isaac Hernandez Estrada because my last name is Estrada. Oscar Isaac Hernandez Estrada.
José Pedro Balmaceda Pascal.
My full name is Oscar Isaac.
That's all.
I love Pedro and Oscar. They're so funny. This is a good one. So this is at Universal Studios, where if you've been to Universal Studios, you know that they have a quote unquote live Megatron and Optimus Prime, depending on where you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, it's the love of my life. Megatron.
It's this guy filming his girlfriend at Universal Studios. And, he goes, love of my life, and he shoves past her. Megatron!
You sent me
I sent you
an
lot.
Instagram thing this last week of a cup made to look like the Grogu. And you just sent it with the caption, "Consume the brain juice of the child."
It's weird. Like, why would it's kind of weird. I mean, I do have a mug of Wrecker's helmet, so same energy, but it's it's just so odd. I do actually have a Transformers meme.
Yes.
Megatron, after he and his Decepticons had every advantage over the Autobots, only to be thwarted by their incompetence and Starscream being Starscream.
We cannot beat these. We cannot beat this team for shit.
Mark the time code.
I'm so sorry.
That was great. That was great.
I was a little too distracted by the fact that it's just such a little detail, but they put like some of the backing tracks from the G1 show in the background. It's funny. Anyways, scratch that. Oh, it's good. I think I have. Oh, do you have any more? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, you do some. You do some.
Here's a video. We've been alternating. It's cool, totally cool. A reaction to Jedi Survivor getting delayed.
They stole it from me, Carmine. They took it. That was today. Today. They stole it from me.
Angry Tobey Maguire is always funny to me.
Actual footage of me on the podcast last week and on the 17th it was supposed to come out.
What do you have to share?
So this is just captioned, "You got to be kidding me," and I just want to see your reaction first, before you watch it, before I say what it is.
He almost wiped out that dog. Surely this is staged.
I don't know.
Why is he
It could
filming
be.
himself walking down the stairs with this? So it's a video of a man walking down the stairs with a full Lego
Star Destroyer. He probably wants to show it off, but to me it looked like because animals for some reason have to be first wherever you go.
Yeah, and he nearly launches it. In my mind, if you were the kind of person to spend the money and time to build a Star Destroyer, you would not be that reckless with it. There's just no way.
I didn't think
that thing is like the size he is.
It was also posted by Barstool Sports, so could have.
But to me, the humor there is the fact that he nearly Order 66 is that dog.
With the Lego Star Destroyer.
This video just cracks me up, and it's mostly visual. But I recommend just Google search, this YouTube search, Bad Batch fan animation, and this will come up.
I'm Wrecker, Tarzan, and I'm Echo to you.
I know
the video is
I know exactly what you're referencing.
Incredibly high quality 3D renders of the 5 of them, and they're all dancing in perfect unison, and it cracks me up.
So, this is the magnum opus meme that I have tonight.
Okay. Go for it.
So, for reference, Virginia Tech Wrestling posted a hype video for their wrestling team. You are never going to guess what Star Wars character cameos in this.
I never would have guessed.
And I'm going to show this to you, and I'm not going to have any spoilers. Do you want me to hold it up so people can hear it? This is too good. Are you ready?
Go for it. Let's do it. Virginia
3
Tech.
days, 6 sessions, and 20 hours all year long. These wrestlers, they dream about competing in this tournament. Fireworks. Here we go.
Everything leading up to this moment has been rehearsal. The real performance
What?
is about to begin.
What? Our man Thrawn. Straight up, they didn't even just use his voice as a shot of animated Thrawn in this official Virginia Tech wrestling hype video. Hysterical. Wow.
It's not just the quote. It's a scene from Rebels.
They actually cut to a shot of our man Thrawn.
It's
Hysterical.
So in accordance.
I am sorry, some people don't appreciate art as I do.
So, anyways, there's some accompanying retweets that I loved with that. It was so funny. First of all, that's the tweet I saw. You're never gonna guess what Star Wars character cameos this. I'm like, okay, fine. Well, they were right.
Yeah, that would have been pretty far down the list of ones I would have guessed.
Rebel Strong is not what I was expecting. Maybe a Darth Vader cameo or something. But anyways, so my favorite tweets were Ezra's Buffalo Wild Wings deals on deals versus Thrawn's Virginia Tech wrestling hype video cameo with the reference. If you don't know, the voice actor for Ezra did some promos for Buffalo Wild Wings, and he sounds exactly like his performance in Rebels.
Yeah,
and
he's not changing his voice at all.
Deals on deals. It's so funny, and so it's just what a weird intersection of. I want to know who in their marketing. How did that get past their marketing? I love it.
Media, I love it, but it's so funny. I think certain social media managers, they'll be like, "This will get the kids in."
They're gonna get
sure, whatever.
Get a cease and desist.
Yeah, college social media is, I don't think, oftentimes very closely monitored, especially when it's like a small off branch. It's not like the main Virginia Tech. It is Virginia Tech wrestling page.
Can you imagine if our alma mater did something?
It's very unlikely, but it's also possible that check mark is just bought by someone.
Is Penman in your check mark bought? I don't know. It does say official count of Hokies wrestling. Turkeys. That's funny. NCAA champion.
I'm going to close out with this meme. It's mostly visual, but I want to be able to get Rachel's reaction to it. It says, special instructions. Send your cutest delivery boy. Who is that, Rachel?
This G1 Sound. The logo!
Yeah. It's G1 Soundwave.
With
a Domino's pizza hat and logo photoshopped on his chest, and he's holding a couple boxes of pizza. He's definitely the cutest delivery boy.
Oh, he's holding up the Decepticons on his back. Oh, man. I love that we both had memes that were like, you got to see the live reaction. I don't think I have...
I think that's a good place to close out for the week.
Are the magnum opus memes.
Very good, very good. Well, as always, thank you to Caleb Jacoby for our intro and outro music. Props to Rachel for our artwork.
Props to Cameron, who edits all of these.
Woo!
And
I don't do a ton. This week will be a lot more editing than usual, though, because the battery died in the middle this week. I have to edit 2 clips together, but it's not that big a deal.
And you gotta cut out.
I enjoy
the swearing. No swearing in our Christian Minecraft server.
That is, I enjoy that though. And props to Rachel for running our Twitter. She's doing a great job over there, getting some reactions from actual actors from the show.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably annoying ACG cast or ATC. ATG across the galaxy.
They should never be mad if you're driving engagement. If you're commenting, you're driving engagement.
I tagged them in something.
Hop on our Facebook. I run the Facebook as well, and it's different content.
Ooh, you can. Sorry.
I like to repost stuff from the Facebook pages I follow on there, and she likes to repost stuff from the Twitter pages she follows. So
I feel like you can get a good idea of our personalities based on how each social media is run.
Almost certainly. And as always, send us a review or post a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you can find a place to send a review. Good or bad, we'll read it on air. Send us some comments, send us some memes, send us something to read on the podcast. I would love to make a segment where we do letters from fans. But go for it.
We can cut this. It was our supervisor's birthday last week.
Oh, of course. This last Saturday was Athena the cat's birthday. Athena being the one who keeps us in line
She's
here.
Our supervisor.
Because if we go too long, she'll start meowing at me to leave. So she's our warning.
She's now 8. She's technically considered a senior.
She's just over there napping still.
She is.
And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. This is Cameron and Rachel signing off saying, make Buffalo Wild Wings the official food of Virginia Tech Wrestling so that we can have a crossover commercial with the voice actors of Thrawn and Ezra. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great week.